Hi, we're at the here with Willie B. and his lovely life doing, Willie.
Okay.
All right, so Willie, tell me a little bit about the Webb family that you remember from your dad, your grandparents. Matter of fact, you remember anything about old Jim Webb?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me a little bit about him if you can.
He was my grandfather. I stayed with him, me and him. My daddy got a job at that factory out there. I had to stay and help him get the crop up that year. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, was Jim a tall man?
No, he was low. He was a low man. He wasn't very tall.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What about your grandmother Rose?
She about my wife, right?
Mm-hmm.
She wouldn't let nobody mess with the grandkids. She always kept focusing on the grandkids.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, your uncles, your dad and his uncles. Tell me a little bit about your dad, Coley.
My dad was a good dad until he started working in the house. I had to come home and help my grandfather gather the crop for the fall. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
we had tomatoes, cabbage, sweet potatoes. That's what we raised mostly.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, what about Aunt Carrie and Shelley and James Jr. and all them?
Well, Aunt Carrie, she lived over Spring Creek with Uncle Guy. And Shelley, he didn't live around long. He left and went to Dayton, Ohio. That's where he found most of his roots.
Okay. What about Roy?
Uncle Roy, he moved to Wisconsin.
Okay.
The farm wasn't too good back then for Negroes.
Mm-hmm.
Back in those days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And let's see. We got Shelley, Roy.
Mm-hmm.
What about James? Uncle James.
James, he left with Detroit, Michigan, and got a job in the automobile factory.
Okay.
Like Roy did too.
Okay. Well, tell me about who's a lovely young lady next to you. Who's she?
That's my brother Harry. She's looking after me now.
Uh-huh.
She's up in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. You know, some of your family reunions. Can you ever remember the first family reunion you went to, and where was it at? If you can remember.
First family we went to was in Dayton, Ohio. Dayton, Ohio. That's where we had.
Okay. So, what's the reasoning that your dad came up here to Elkhart when your family moved from Milan, Tennessee to Elkhart? Why is that?
Well, he come up here, get a better living, better job. He did get one after high school, Georgia. After the high school, what was the name of the high school? Where he worked.
Okay. Well, like I said, now you know your family. You have children and everything now. And how many children do you have?
I still have two.
2 children. Okay. It's a blessing. I know when you were in Dayton, Ohio, I enjoyed talking to you. They did a lot of interviews in the newspaper and everything. They love you, and they always said you would know. Yeah. Now, tell me about some of your memorable moments of your family, from your uncles, your grandparents, and can you tell me a little bit about Milan, Tennessee, about Webb-Town and stuff down there?
Yeah, most of it at Webb-Town was on Webb until late 51. And then all that quit farming, couldn't get no out of the crop, so they all packed up. Some went to Dayton and some went to Michigan. And some went to Wisconsin.
Now, why do they call it Webb-Town?
Well, nothing out there but Webbs. 90% of it was Webb back in that those days.
Now, how old are you now, Willie?
I'm 73 now.
80. He was 80 September 15th.
80 September 15th. That's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing. 80 years old. God's blessing. God's blessings and stuff like that. Well, you know, Willie, you know, I always love talking to you and asking questions and stuff I don't know and stuff like that. Oh, a couple of questions. Do you ever remember our great uncle Ulysses Webb? Did they ever talk about him?
Yeah, they talked about it.
Okay, what about Uncle Lambert?
And Uncle Lambert too.
What kind of guy was he when you remember?
Yeah, he was an old, pretty straight. They were all straight then. Farmers, most of them, they farmers. Lambert, they, down the war, they finally moved into Dayton, Ohio.
Okay, what about some of the other ones, like you remember Mary and maybe John? I think Mary was the oldest of the sibling of Washington, George Washington Webb's kids. You remember Mary Webb? Okay. And I know they said Aunt Frances used to cook real good down there. Frances Webb, who married Mitch Williams, right?
Yeah, he died and left being in charge of it. He mistreated her most.
Did he?
Yeah. He didn't have to look after. But he didn't forget that check she drove every month.
Now, a lot of the Webbs who was buried, what cemetery did they get buried in? You remember? Some of the Webbs and back then?
West Spring. Most of them, the old out there West Spring.
I understand. I was looking at some stuff back in